Today in the studio, folks, I've got a real treat for you, or I should say a real tortilla. My Mexican connection, Albert Preciado. What's up, Albert?
What's up, Brad? How are you?
Dude, Albert's in town for a big-ass keynote he's delivering over there with Gary V and shit.
Yeah.
You got old Gary V and Ed Milet and Albert Preciado. I was like, damn, dude, Albert's getting up there. So I said, come by the studio and let's run it back. You've been on a couple times.
Yeah.
If you guys don't remember Albert, dude, he's a mortgage king. He's the king of mortgages. And now,
right.
and now, because of his power couple wife, Sylvia, who's also over here, now they're kings and queens of real estate and mortgages, which is perfectly integrated, isn't it?
Yep.
So, and did I see TMG lending or some shit now popping up?
Yeah, we're becoming a lender.
How you making all that dough to where you can start lending dough?
Well, you know, everything has a beginning, and in the beginning, you have to put all the money up front, and you don't have the information, the relationship, so you have to figure it out. At least that was how I did it. And then once you started making more money, and then you lose the money, and then you fall on your ass, and then you get back up. You have ups and downs, lose millions, make millions. And like you said earlier, it took you 20 years to figure it out. I'm in year 9, going on year 10. So after all those painful moments and the mistakes, then you finally learn. And then once you start making more money, and then you get more experience, and then you get wiser, then you know, okay, well, now I have more funds, but now I'm going to invest those funds as opposed to like spend those funds on dumb things. So you start investing more, and then you start growing. And I don't know if it's the same for you, but when you get to $1 million cash, it's a lot easier to grow to 10 million than it is to grow from like 100,000 to your first million when you have that money cash. Was that the same for you?
Well, naturally, but that's only because now you have more resources. With more resources, you can make bigger moves, and bigger moves return bigger.
Yeah.
And then it's just quicker to accumulate.
And you also take wiser risks now. It's more like bulletproof risks.
Mm-hmm. So
to answer your question,
hold on. You went from like, you know, not dirt poor, because I saw you guys had like a Nissan Maxima or something.
Altima.
Yeah, but I saw you the other day. It looked like you were out in the freaking straight barrio. Like there was a house behind you. That wasn't your house you grew up in or something, was it? Like you guys went and just picked the shittiest looking house to say, look where we started.
That was actually Syl's first 4-unit property that she bought.
Oh, that you bought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, cause I mean, like it looked like it was like, you know, low rent. I'm thinking, is this where they started? That's what you started with. Where did you live back then though? Because you guys didn't have a bunch of money when you bought those buildings.
No.
You guys were hustling to get enough money to pay your down payment.
Yeah, so I had a mentor that was my previous broker, and his name was Mark. And he was the first millionaire mentor that I had. And he told me, hey, Albert, don't buy a single family, buy units.
Yeah.
And he told me you could buy units FHA with only 3.5% down. So I didn't really quite understand it, but then I just did it. And when you do it and you learn through experience, you make the mistakes, and then you make less mistakes the next one, and then you figure it out, and you could do it again and again.
Yeah, but don't you think timing was important?
Very important, because that was 2013 when the prices were barely going up.
Timing, folks. A lot of people look out and see people succeeded, and they're like, well, all he did was this. Yeah, but he did it right then and right then and right then. And, you know, like look at who you're speaking with, Gary V.
Yeah.
You know, he jumped on YouTube before anyone was really on YouTube.
Timing, yeah.
And he knew that thing, or he felt that thing was going to get big. And so he was there. He went years before nobody knew who his ass was. Then everyone knows who he is. And now everyone says, well, you know, all he did was make videos. No, all he did was make videos at that exact time. Timing's everything. How important do you think timing is?
It is everything. But very important, most important is having the right mentors. So having the right people that are going to give you the information. Because, for example, you told me a lot of things to do. And in the beginning, I didn't do those things. and you know exactly, like I could say 2 things that made me millions that you told me to do. So number 1 was you told me, hey, focus on the Latinos, not necessarily just the Latinos that speak Spanish, but Latino Americans.
Yeah.
Because that's like my strength that I have over the other influencers in the business world. And then you also told me, hey, why don't you do your own event? And that's when Driven started. But you told me to do that a lot. And you also told me if I had a third thing is do your virtual training, it'll make you money. And then when I was really promoting it, and then you told me a fourth thing, you said spend money on ads. And I've always taken like 2 years to follow through. And that's me. And I feel like most people, they get the information, they go to a lot of events, they learn the information, but they don't follow through, they don't execute. So execution, I think, is the biggest problem that people need to solve, but you need the right information in the beginning.
Execution, I agree. I also told you to stop just working out your chest.
That would be the 6th thing, because now I hired the same coach, and now we're working out legs and we're working out back.
Now you're gonna grow and develop naturally, like where it's like looks normal.
Well, I mean,
if you guys ever seen Albert, he walks around, his chest looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but then his arms look like Melissa Schwarzenegger. He just messing with my buddy. He's always been in shape, but dude, the chest, I don't know. You must do it 4 or 5 times a week. Why does it always look like developed more so? Like when I look at you, I think to yourself, dude, is all you do is chest?
The closest.
Do you have leg day?
Yeah. I work out legs twice a day. I mean, not twice a day, twice a week.
Twice a day. Holy shit.
Twice a week. But the closest match I can compare it to would be like, some women are born and they naturally have, large boobs.
So you didn't work out your chest any extra?
No.
It just develops
I actually don't even lift.
So you have
much.
super fibers. Your pectoral muscles.
I'm naturally just have a strong chest. Yeah.
That's funny. Sil, when you met him, he was like kind of a, broke, scrawny kid, wasn't he?
He was actually chubby.
What were you?
What was that?
Yeah, like were you like broke too?
Yeah.
Because I saw that picture where you guys are real young. You were like freaking. You look like a like skinny. Like, dude, it was like freaking. Damn, is that Sil right there? Holy shit.
Yeah.
How little were you?
I've always weighed
like 125, 120.
But you looked young then, because you looked little, like not thin. You still look thin. I'm talking about you looked little.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I met him when I was 21, so.
That wasn't that long ago.
She was 21. I was 24.
Maybe it was the angle. You know the one I'm talking about?
Is it the one in front of his Audi?
No, he looks different, and you look tiny.
You're talking about the Sunset Plaza picture. The yellow restaurant, Le Petit Four?
No, I think he's talking about the one in our
I'll show you after this.
corner.
I'll show you after this.
Yeah, but
All I know is
I know
you
which one you're talking about.
look like you're 5'1", like tiny.
Well, you want me to share something with you is when, like, at least for me, I always grew up being the ugly kid. The ugly guy. So I grew up being the
why were you considered ugly?
Well, because when you're born, like a kid thinks they're perfect. They think they can do anything. But as you grow and you go through elementary school, middle school, high school, people make fun of your accent. They call you things like beaner. They start just calling you names, making you insecure. And then you start getting pimples. You go through puberty. And then just all the people, they kind of mess with your head. So then I grew up always believing, and I was really skinny. So I grew up feeling ugly. And I wasn't the tallest. I wasn't blue-eyed. I wasn't white.
Is that what's cool? Being blue-eyed.
So what I started doing was I said, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on all my weaknesses because I want to be good looking. So I said I'm already behind because I'm ugly. That's how I considered myself. So I said, well, I'm gonna work out, build some muscle. I started taking weight gainers, taking creatine. Then I said,
did you know Sil by now?
I didn't know her. This was when I was 19.
Okay.
When I started like the transformation from the ugly Albert to the good looking Albert. So I started. Then I had a bunch of pimples. And I said, well, how do I get rid of him? So I started going to the beach, tanning, exfoliating, and swimming in the salt water. So then my pimples all of a sudden went away. I got a tan, I got muscles, and I just started kind of fixing everything that I wasn't happy with. And that gave me confidence, because I think the most important part right now for people, especially in the current economy we're in, is confidence. If you have confidence, you could do anything. So like in the beginning, when you speak on stage, like Renee was speaking about, in the beginning, you make a lot of mistakes, you get stressed out and you're shaking. But then after you do it at one time, you could do it again and again. So I think confidence is really important in everything you do, including, most importantly, in business.
You're waiting on a bomb, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell when Albert wants a bomb. He's like,
So my point is,
that was a bomb, but
my point is, like, the better looking you are, the better you produce.
I know what you mean.
Like look at you. Like you look
I know what you mean.
You look like a different Brad. Like you weren't ugly before, but you were like the chubby Brad. Now you're like the muscular lean Brad.
On the way. I'm Brad 5.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to change every fucking decade. You can't stay the same forever.
Hasn't that helped you be more confident?
Yeah, but I was pretty confident fat, wouldn't you say?
But you're extra confident now.
Well, again, I think people think I look even better now, but before I was confident. But I wouldn't have been necessarily confident though at a pool.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
But I also trained my brain not to give a shit. So like when you go to the pool and you're fat, here's the trick. You grab a beer and you walk around, and then anytime somebody walks up to you, just like, hit your belly and go, whew, and then no one cares. That's what you do. Act like you don't give a shit about your fat, and no one else will give a shit about your fat. But it's when we get all self-conscious and like you see those fat people in the pool with the shirts on thinking like, I don't want to get a sunburn. It's like, no, you don't want to show you're fat.
Yeah.
And why you're stupid is because we can see you're fat right through the wet shirt. You might as well have just took your shirt off and acted like you don't. But also
when you're on camera, you have a double chin and your head looks like circular, and that also doesn't look good on when you're doing your videos. Now your videos.
Yeah, but again, that's my point. Like, dude, you're bullying fat people. Dude, here's my thing. Number one, I'm still fat because I did a body scan. I'm still 17% body fat, so I got a long way to go. But the key to it is consistency, making a decision and doing it. That's all I did different. Yeah, it's a choice. So if when people say, Brad, you're fat shaming, you're bullying, I'm not saying anything. I'm telling fat people or pudgy people or whatever politically correct way to say overweight people that there is ways to get out of that situation, but it starts with a choice. You have to make it.
Yeah.
Just like when I messed with you about chest, you finally said, fuck it, dude. I'm tired of listening to this guy say, all I got's a chest. So I hired a trainer, and now pretty soon people are going to be like, holy shit, Albert, what'd you do?
Yeah.
And they're going to say, did your chest shrink? And you're going to go, no, not at all. I just focused on everything else now. You don't know what to say when I fuck with you about your chest, do you?
I do, but I want to keep it more business business talk.
Okay, so let's talk business. Now, you built a personal brand yourself. How important was that to your success?
We talk about it a lot, and I think you were a huge part of it. And one thing that I want to acknowledge you for.
I might be owed some money or something, right? Like shit. Apparently, I've made you millions several times over.
But not a lot of people, I think.
How come I ain't got a watch? Like a green face Rolly with some diamonds.
Let me know which one you want.
Everybody else gives me watches. Oh, he said I made him millions, dude. He won't give me a watch, especially the one he's got on. Actually, speaking of watches, dude, I want the one that got yanked off your wrist at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Tell them about that story.
So we'll leave the brand for later, but so
he wants to stick on business.
No, I mean anything that helps people. So like in the beginning, when you're trying to make it and you're building your brand, you kind of have to be all out there, and you have to be showing off your watch, flashy, doing stories, telling people I'm here, I'm there. But then when you grow and then people recognize you. And then people are following you. They're looking at all your stories. It's kind of scary I saw a post from Cristiano. You know Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player. He says that he's never taken his kids to the park, and he'll never take his kids to the park, not once. And because when he goes to the park, 20 people run into him. They just run to him, and then his kids get nervous. He gets nervous. And there's crazy people out there. There's like a lot of bad people. Yeah. Forget about your watch. What if they take one of your little girls? You know, now that I build the brand and the popularity, it's very easy to make money. It enables you to make easy money on autopilot, because all you got to do is do a story and be like, hey, you know what? Here's my drink I created. It's called Tecate Energy. I'll sell it like that, because people are going to want to buy it because they're like, Albert drinks it, Brad drinks it. But, and if I want to do a story, hey, you know what? I want to teach you how to make millions in mortgage. I want to teach you how to make millions in real estate. You attract those people because you reach so many people online on all social media. But then what happens is that the more popular you get, now you start dealing with the cons,
the whack jobs.
So what happened with me is we went to Rob's, and I never spoken about this publicly, but it's the first time we went to Rob's wedding. And that October, I think it was October 18th, it's a Saturday, at 4 a.m. Over there, they knew that I was going to be sleeping. So I think it's somebody that's watching this podcast. You know, they're going to watch this, and you're watching.
It's one of my
this.
listeners.
Yeah.
Hey, so who fucking robbed Albert?
So they're watching this right now, and they picked 4 o'clock in New York because they figured I'm going to be asleep. That's 1 a.m. here, which is a perfect time to break into the house. So they broke into my Beverly Hills home.
Why is that a perfect time though?
Because 1 o'clock, everybody's sleeping, and they figured it's 4 a.m. in New York where Albert is. So he's not going to look at the cameras. He's not going to be paying attention. So they break in, and that day, I'll tell you what my biggest thing that I'm so happy about that day was my dad was going to stay the night. And it was 4 robbers, ski masks, covered up, broke the window, got in with guns. And the best thing that happened was that my dad didn't stay that night. He decided for some reason to go home, and he did that. And that day it happened. They stole my Richard Mille, like a $500,000 watch. It's worth like $800,000-$700,000 now. So yes, it does hurt, but it doesn't hurt as much as losing my dad's life. It doesn't hurt as much as losing my daughter's life, getting kidnapped or whatever. So that happened, and we moved to Bel Air, and we got a big building. You know, not a big. We didn't get the building. We leased the entire floor on the top, and it's the perfect building, the perfect location. And they robbed me again, gunpoint, and they stole my gold Patek, another $500,000 watch. So that moment, I started thinking like, you know what? The things that I really value in life now are much different. You know, I have $1 million Ferrari that I just got. I was looking at the past dropping bombs we did, which was the third time I was here. The previous one, it was my third time here. And I was looking at the watch I had. It was the silver Patek. And I remember like those watches came after that. So like literally they stole over $1 million like that. But I started thinking about, you know what? I'm so grateful that I think really somebody's like God is watching me and taking care of me because he wants me to do something special in this world. And I realized even more, not that I didn't know, but how important and who is my why and who's the most important people in my life, which are those 2 little girls. And now we're having another third baby. And I thought for a moment, like, imagine if the robbers would have taken my watch, because they couldn't even take it off. So I had to take it off for them. They ran away. But when I had the gun pointed on my chest, the only thing I could think of is Italia, Berlin, and then people came after that. Sil, the office, people that we employ, even the people that follow me that send me messages in the morning like, hey, you know what, you inspire me because you came from Mexico and you're winning, and that gives me hope. So I started thinking about all that. And then I realized, you know what? Like I have to be a better father. I have to be a better husband. I have to be a better leader. And it made me just realize like what really is the most important thing in life.
What is it?
Being a good example, a leader, and helping people. And most importantly, I feel like my job, my main duty is to protect my family, my daughters, you know, because they didn't choose to come here. I chose to make them and bring them here.
Aren't you glad this isn't live, taped live? Because if it was, dude, someone would know you're here right now. But they could go over to your place right now because they're listening. Whoever screwed you, they're one of my listeners.
Yeah, they are. But I
son of a
upgraded
bitches.
I upgraded security, so now we have security. We live in a different place. It's gated.
Yeah, but you were showing a lot of those things in that other house. You had a lot of parties. Have you learned your lesson? Don't let people know where you live.
Yeah,
when you're a little bit of a known person.
Yeah, so the Bel Air house, you know, no, we don't have any parties there. Nobody.
But couldn't I Google and find you guys? You sure, dude? Google. I'll tell you what. Google's pretty crazy. Like I can find a gnat's ass in frickin' Bedrock, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is that you could get access to people. Data is bought. So like if you give me anybody's cell phone, I could get their address. I could get the last 4 digits of their social. I could get anything because I'm a licensed broker.
Yeah. So why do you think? So why do you think not showing people where you live is going to keep people from robbing you again?
It'll minimize it, and you just have to minimize. You got to be smart, and like you're very aware.
I wouldn't advise it, but I also don't see you giving up all your cars, trying to look poor. Because the only way you can not be robbed is to have nothing. So would you rather get robbed and be rich or not get robbed and be poor?
Well, one of my key principles in life is I don't change who I am. So if they steal my watch, like I'll get another watch. Like I'll get another expensive watch. I'll get another expensive car. If they try, I don't get scared. I'll even promote more. I'll market more. I'll show more, but with updates. So now instead of,
and you guys got concealed weapons permits on the way, right?
We have permits, you know, to have some weapons, you know, in some places, and security, and now, you know, I have an undercover car that I drive that nobody knows about. And
is it? What does it look like?
I'll tell you off camera, but it's a nice car. It's a fast car, and I never post it on social media. It's close to 200,000.
Does it make you like feel incognito?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. So I drive that car. It's people won't spot me with that car, and because there's a lot of cars like that, but I have a pretty special car, and when I get out, I don't have my watch on. I act like I'm just a normal human being, and it feels good. And I'll tell you what, like it feels. When you're trying to make it, you want to show off and you want everybody to know you and you want to get all the attention. But when you make it, you kind of want to be private. You want exclusivity. You want nobody to know where you are. And that's how I am now. So now, like, for example, I'll take the undercover car and now I'll take different routes. I'll park in different places. I'll have security meet me when I get there. And this is a true story, by the way. Like it's new to me. Like I always wanted to make a lot of money, but then I never knew when you make so much money, why so many people now want to hurt you. So many people want to attack you. So many people, their envy comes out, jealousy comes out. And and I've just figured out there's just a lot of bad people out there.
Yes, there is. But there's a lot of good people too.
There is.
There's more good than bad.
Yeah. You got to get through a lot of bad people to find the good people.
Yeah. Have you found them yet?
Yeah. Yeah. For every 10 people that you meet, I figured out that 1 or 2 people are going to be good.
So if you want to meet 200 good people, you got to see 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, dude, what do you make the most money on? Mortgages, real estate, or driven?
Well, we have more businesses than that, but those are probably the top 3, and definitely mortgage is number 1.
Even though it's taking a dump?
It's taking a dump for people that don't have a personal brand or a brand. So like you were talking about, companies, mortgage brokers, even mortgage lenders. If you don't have a brand, then you're not going to get as much business and easy business. So when you build a brand, which you told me, build your brand. And I started getting verified, getting more followers. And now when this whole economy, the mortgage slowed down, the rates went up, real estate's dipping a little bit. People that don't have a brand, they're struggling, they're sinking. So me that I built a brand, and we built a brand as a company too, the TMG, the mortgage guys, there's a lot of people trying to create, copy us. They're trying to create their NG. So they just change a letter and they're trying to become the NG because we're TMG. There's only one TMG and that's us. So they're trying to copy it, but they can't, because it's like if somebody tries to copy what you're doing and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to create another Lightspeed. They don't have your brand that you created, because I think you attract a lot of people. You're the reason why Lightspeed, and now you open a few other companies that are doing really well because of your brand. So if you have a brand right now, what's happening is while companies are sinking, we're attracting all of their agents because they see us leveling. Like we're staying level, but not only staying level, we're growing a little bit. So for any mortgage company right now to even grow a little bit, most companies are going down 80%. We're growing a little bit. TMG is up 10% from last year, and Ambiance Realty is up 50% from last year. And that's unheard of in the real estate and mortgage industry right now. And you could tell.
What do you attribute it to?
Personal, the brand, not my personal brand that transferred to the company brands, but it's the brand because companies that don't have a brand, they're sinking because not a lot of people know them. Their only reach is the old school way, knocking.
So it also culminated with Driven. Driven's helping build that brand.
Yeah. So what I created was, because like I said, I was never the smartest guy either. So everything that I learned, I had to do a lot of self-improvement, learn from a lot of people. And I think relationships is very, very important, because one relationship led to the next and to the next, and then that one created the next. And I remember like in the previous dropping bombs we talked about it, but I bought your relationship, and then you introduced me to more relationships, and then I kept buying more relationships. But then after a while, then people started paying me to buy me. So now I know how it feels, like what I did to you. Now I know how it feels.
Well, how does it feel? Good?
Feels good.
Yeah.
People pay you now. People pay me for my time.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you, when you say you bought relationships, you didn't buy a relationship.
You invested in it.
No, you bought an opening to build a relationship.
And you didn't ask for a refund.
If I didn't like you, I would have took your money and that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So you didn't buy the relationship. You bought the opening. And more people should do that. They should, pay people for their time, pay people to hang out with them. And then if you're a good dude and you're a good person, or you bring value like you think you do or you claim you do, well, then you'll leverage that relationship, or you'll grow that relationship. But the money doesn't get you the relationship. The money gets you the access.
Tell me this, Brad, like what do you see? Because I think that the respect we have is mutual. Like I think it's very mutual, and I think the reason is, but I want to ask you this question, is I think because you see me actually executing. You tell a lot of people and you give them the same advice you gave me, but most people don't do that. So why is it that certain people, they'll go out and do it and some people won't? Because you tell everybody to do the same.
Because I think you have a chip on your shoulder. But that's good.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
People with chips on their shoulder use that as fuel and drive, which makes them driven. Like when you tell your story about, my dad said those cars aren't for us. You use that. That's a chip. You're like, fuck you. What do you mean not for us? Okay, what does that even mean? That is for me. I want that shit. But, some people execute, some people don't. But you did, that's for sure.
we're going on Driven 6.
Yeah, Driven 6, folks.
And you told me to start my own event. That was like 7 years ago.
Yeah. Well, again, you executed.
And most people can do one event, 2 events, but like we're going on Driven 6. And another key thing is the courage to take risks. Because like when you started Lightspeed, like how was it? Like, did you have all the money up front? Did you put it out? Did you come from money? When you created Lightspeed, was it easy?
No.
Did you have all the money in the bank? You took a risk. So why did you take that risk?
Did we flip-flop the interview? Am I being interviewed right now?
It's
or are you being rhetorical to teach the lesson?
Well, I want people to get value from this. So taking
they
risks,
already did.
Taking
we can shut her down right now.
Taking risks is critical. So when I started the first Driven, because you told me to, you gave me that idea and you said you got to go do your own event. And I said, okay, but I was thinking like, how can this event benefit our primary company, which was TMG, the mortgage guys that led to Ambiance Realty. But I said, well, how can I create this event not to be famous and boost my ego, but I wanted to speak on stage because that was one of my dreams. And everybody told me you'll never speak on stage. And that's like having the chip on your shoulder, like you said, but I wanted to prove people wrong. But when I wanted to have the event, I wanted to have an event because I wanted it to grow my other business, which was TMG. So I had that purpose of how can I use this event to grow TMG? And then that's why I did it. You made me lose my thought.
I like to keep it light on dropping bombs, bro. You're starting to make me like tear up and shit. But in all reality,
so Brett, I remembered.
Okay,
so when I opened when I had the first Driven, when I started Driven, I had a buddy, and I needed $50,000 to start Driven. I didn't have $50,000. This was 7 years ago. I didn't have $50,000. Was I making $1 million? Yeah, but $1 million was going out and more. So I wasn't making money. My bank was always like $5,000, $500, 20 grand, back down to 4,000. And every week I was barely making the payroll and paying the commissions. So I needed 50 grand. I didn't have 50 grand. And if I did, I owed it for next week. So I couldn't play with that money that I had in the account. So I had a buddy and I told him, hey buddy, let's start an event. And it's going to be called Driven. Let's go 50-50. You know, you'll get, you're 50% owner, I'm 50% owner. All I need is 25K. You put 25K, I put 25K. He turned down the idea because he was like, you don't have experience. You're not a speaker. And he probably didn't have the money, but he didn't do it. So what did I do? I put 25 grand. I applied for credit cards, got credit cards, got sealed some credit cards. And that funded, I got till I think like $80,000 of credit limits. And I self-started the event. I sent Grant his deposit and I sent the Ritzer deposit. So 25K. And then Seal was like, okay, so what's next? We still have to pay the balance. We still have to pay for the lighting and we still have to pay for maybe other speakers. What are we going to do? And I told her, well, we'll make some sales. And then I get on a live the first time and I have like 3 viewers and I figured out like making sales is not going to be that easy. And then I kept trying. And then and then 48 hours later, when I was about to quit, I get a ticket sale, super VIP, $2,000. So I'm like, yes, like, so now I'm $2,000 less in this debt, in this mistake that I made. And then from there on, I had no choice but to fight back. And I was on your dropping bombs, and one of Grant Cardone's employees, he had an ex-girlfriend that did a lot of surgeries, like in her face. Not surgeries, but a bunch of injections. And she heard the first dropping bombs that we did. And she said, that guy sucks. He has an accent. he's not smart. He's dumb. Something like that. And now look at where they are. And then look at where I am.
Where are they?
Broke. As a joke.
They? Do you know them?
I don't like putting people on the spot like that, but you know,
are they watching? Are they listening?
They're definitely listening, yeah, because
everybody's listening.
They're listening, and
the robbers
and the thing
gunmen,
the thing is that
and
now
the bitch.
Now the funny part is that people now they don't talk shit to me anymore. In the beginning, they used to make fun of me.
Oh, they will. Save it. Just wait. They will.
Yeah, they don't. But
and
now people,
dude, when you start to get bigger, they just stop saying it around you. Then they just go say it.
Yeah.
Without you. Then eventually, once you get to the very, very, very top, then everybody wants to claim they know you.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Where do you think you are?
Me, I'm barely getting started. Yeah, I have a lot to learn. 39.
39. You're not even 40 yet.
Not yet, but experience has been the biggest lesson and the most valuable thing that anybody can get, because you can't buy experience. And so, like, when I talk about old people or the elderly, I don't mean anything bad against them, because I love them. You know, like my dad's 73 years old. I love him. All of my mentors are in their 60s. I love them. When I say these people that are 60, what I mean by that is when these people are trying to put down the millennials and they're saying, I got 30 years of experience, I'm better than these millennials, but they don't have 30 years of experience because they're broke. They've been repeating the same thing 30 times. So they have 1 year of experience repeated 30 times. So they have 1 year of experience 30 times. So they haven't grown. They're still chasing that last paycheck, that last commission check. They still have a broken mindset. What I call experience is somebody that grows every year, and every year is they don't recognize their last year, and they keep growing and growing and growing. Like, you're one of those guys.
That's good.
You're getting better by age. Wow. You're looking better, making more money. Now you drive a Ferrari.
2.
I think I inspired you to get it.
Yes, you did.
I didn't give you a watch, but I gave you a Ferrari.
Yeah, but I always thought I'll never get a Ferrari because, you know, you can't drive them every day. They'll break down, da-da-da-da-da. So when you gave me yours and I put 15,000 miles on it and it didn't have a problem at all. Yeah, it didn't have a problem at all. I'm like, shit, that's a badass car. I want one of these. Then you said, well, you want to just buy that one? I said, fuck no, it's got 15,000 miles. You can have that one.
Yeah.
No, it was red. Otherwise, if it was black, I would have took it. You still have that car or no?
No, I don't have that car. I upgraded the Ferraris and I got rid of the older ones.
Oh, you did? Well, now I've got a 296 GTS ordered. So do you, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ferraris are my new thing. I'm going to start collecting them.
Yeah.
But only because it's almost like an investment. Like, you know, my car outside right now.
I saw it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's worth way more than I paid for it. So I'm driving it for free, basically.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, like, how you driving it for free? Because when I sell it, I'll probably get my money back or more of it, and which means I drove the thing for free.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just choose to drive a Ferrari?
Well, that's the thing that we're talking about.
I ain't worried
before.
about getting robbed. You know, if someone robs me, I'll do the same thing you did. I guess I'd take my watch off, but that's why I don't have $500,000 watches.
Yeah.
You can't insure
Smart.
them. You can't insure them.
No.
You know what I would do if I had a $500,000 watch? Buy the fake, wear the fake everywhere I went until someone that knew and said, dude, that's a fake watch. So you want to make a fucking $1 million bet? They say, what do you mean? That's a fake watch. I know watches. You want to make $1 million bet? Pick any jeweler. Let's walk over there. And if they say it's fucking fake, dude, I'll give you $1 million. Most people will be like, well, fuck, if you're that sure, maybe I don't know. Some people that might know say, okay, meet me there. And then you just swing by home, swap-a-roo, grab the real one, walk in and be like, is that real? Julie goes, oh, yes, very real. $1 million.
Yeah, that's smart.
You buy replicas. Do you know that's why they made replicas to begin with? Replica pendants and jewelry and shit like that.
I never thought about that.
Because the real shit was in the safe at home, but because everyone knew you could afford it, they never questioned your fake shit.
Yeah.
Stephanie knows. She doesn't want to be on camera, but oh well.
So Brad, speaking of driven, the fourth thing I said you helped me and you told me about was virtual training, because I know that's what Lightspeed is. So Driven Academy was created also because you gave me that idea. Hey, well, why don't you do that? Because I listened to Grant Cardone and I really learned a lot from Grant Cardone 7 years ago. And I started listening to him. And then I started seeing like this guy, talks on stage. He has this virtual training. And then you told me the story of how you helped him and many other people create a virtual training. So like, I wanted to wait because I remember I paid you for it, but I didn't create it till about 3 years later, because I wanted to wait till I really did something that was successful so that I can start teaching people. Because I don't want to teach people just garbage. I want to make sure that I have made a couple of wins or a few wins before I start teaching people, because nowadays there's so many coaches out there. So like that started helping me. I was helping a lot of people. I was making some good money, but how do you figure out like who to listen to? Because there's a lot of people online selling the same stuff. Like there's also Kajabi, and there's other, I don't know if there's other platforms. I just know Kajabi and
Dude,
Lightspeed.
you only get Kajabi if you want a hand Kajabi.
Yeah.
Or a blow Kajabi.
That's right.
But if you want a training system, that's not what that is.
So when you have a lot of people selling coaching programs, how do you select the right coaching program? How do you
Well, are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if I see one person on Lightspeed and one person not, and I understand what Lightspeed is, I'd know that person doesn't give a shit whether I learn or not, because they don't have a training system. They got a video for sale, and videos don't train people. Systems do. So I'd pick the one with the system.
Yeah.
But most people aren't that smart, and they're not familiar with what Lightspeed is. So they don't realize Lightspeed's a training technology, and that's a video. And videos don't train you. Otherwise, I'd be a mixed martial artist, because I watch a lot of fucking MMA.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I did with Driven Academy is we're having a birthday bash, and tell me if you agree with this, but we're having a birthday bash.
You have a birthday bash every year, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's part of,
I think it's Syl.
It is, but she's having a break right now taking a break from drinking because she's expecting a third one. But we're having a birthday bash August 13th.
You know, you can
August
have
15th.
supposedly a glass of wine.
You don't have any wine here though.
Yeah, we do.
Champagne?
No, never got into champagne.
Yeah.
Dude, I see you guys drink champagne all the time, everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's part of my diet.
But to me, like if I drink just a glass of champagne, doesn't do anything. Then I'm like, why do I have a glass of champagne?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to drink multiple glasses of champagne. But might as well just drink a couple vodka sodas too.
So what I did, Brett, is we created this.
Champagne's too expensive. You pop a bottle for $1,500, 4 or 5 people toast a glass, and next thing you know, it's gone.
So the birthday bash, August 13th.
Bottle of Tito's, man, you're in business still. Back to business, Albert.
August 13th. So August 13th, anybody that subscribed to the Driven Academy.
As of August 13th?
No, August 13th is the birthday bash.
Oh, yeah.
So anybody that subscribed to the Driven Academy gets invited for free to this birthday bash we do once a year.
And you do them up, because I've been to them.
Yeah, you've been to one. Yeah.
They go into the night. You know another thing I told you? Which it might have been bad advice, but it turns out like it is definitely an attribute of Driven.
Yeah.
I told you, make sure you have alcohol. I said, people like to come get some drinks and have fun at these things.
Yeah.
And you usually go to these events where there's no alcohol. There's no fun. Like we're all adults. This is a cool place to have drinks, meet people, network. And now Driven's almost like kind of a Tinder meetup. It's like people go there and meet each other and get married and shit.
Yeah, and the cool
married or buried.
You know what the cool thing about that is though, because the story behind that is Blue Ocean strategy. That's what led me to creating a Driven events instead of a Driven conference, making them more like a Cirque Soleil compared to the previous circuses they used to have. But what I do a lot in those Driven academies, the Driven masterminds, that's what they're called, the birthday bashes, or we call it a Driven mastermind, and then also the Driven event. We attract a lot of agents. So we attract a lot of realtors, a lot of loan officers, and then they get exposed to like our culture, our environment, and then that attracts them. And then that's where we get a lot of people that join the company. Mm-hmm. So like if there's any realtor or loan officer watching this, we're licensed in California, and we're also licensed in Florida for mortgages. So if they want to learn how not only I've done it, but a lot of people under me, we have a lot of people that drive Ferraris, Lambos, Rolls Royces in the company that are under me. So it's not only me that's winning, a lot of people in the company are winning. I mean, my executive assistant here, Steph, drives a brand new Corvette.
Well, dude, if nobody was winning, you wouldn't be winning.
Yeah. So like I love coachable people. When they're really coachable, I think I can help them. I believe I can help them go from 100K to $1 million to 3 million and more if they're coachable, but they have to execute. People need to be able to execute and coach and be coachable. So like if there's any loan officer, realtor watching this, like reach out to me.
That didn't rob him. If you're the loan officer or the mortgage guy that stole his watches,
well, those are
should they call you?
We're not interested in unethical people. Yeah. But I do want to help a lot of loan officers and realtors win.
Especially now, because dude, a lot of them are shitting their pants.
Yeah, a lot of them are leaving their companies right now because their companies are not investing.
How do you say shit in your pants in Spanish?
Cagar. Se están cagando. Se están cagando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, no lo cagues.
Cantinflas. You don't want to walk around looking like Cantinflas.
You don't. So another thing, Brad, before I don't know if you want to bring another topic in, but very important for right now, it's a very, very good time to expand, to invest. That's what I'm doing. So I'm not a genius in any way, or I can't foresee the future, but the way I think is, and what's worked for me is expand when other people are contracting. But going back 8 years ago or more, I didn't have the funds. So now I have funds where right now I can expand. So we have the entire floor. You've been to it. We're building like a custom bar. So we have our office has a custom bar. Yeah. Well, you have to see it. It's a.
I saw it on your stories.
Yeah.
All you're doing is building a cave.
Yeah.
A party cove.
So we're building
the Driven Party Cove is what you got.
We're building a custom bar lounge,
and it also attracts people because there's desks to work and have a drink, work, like let's enjoy.
We have a nice
Vámonos.
view. We have a nice balcony with nice view. We have our training center there. We have our gym for loan officers, realtors, employees to use. We have locker rooms, showers. We have our studio. I just bought a huge LED screen where we're going to shoot our podcast.
Everybody's really, really good looking.
Yeah. That too. That's
Part of the requirement.
Yeah.
You can't have no uglies walking around.
It's not the requirement, but it's
Dude,
what we
you used
attract.
to be an ugly, and now you won't accept the uglies.
We help people get better. Yeah.
So you take uglies and turn them into beauties, then accept them.
I've been known to do that a few times. Yes.
Who's the ugliest person you've turned into a beauty so far?
Myself.
What about anybody else?
I mean, I have.
Who's your biggest nemesis right now?
I know who you turned, but I can't talk about him. He's no longer with us, but he was
Oh yeah.
Did you turn him hot?
he looks much better. Definitely not
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
by any means,
That-
but much better. 100%.
How important do you think looks and style and swagger is?
It's very, very important. It sells. The better you look, the easier the sale is.
Indeed.
Like you have people that like you like, for example, the fake Bradley, like he's like your ugly version, right?
Well, I mean, you know, he looks different. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's very important, and I'm not saying people need to look like supermodels, but people if they invest, like if they go out there and you have a few wrinkles, go get some Botox. If you don't like your nose, go fix it. If you're fat, work out. Eat
What did I
less.
say? Remember when I spoke at Driven One?
Brush your teeth, or
No,
that was a different
no.
one?
I said if you got jacked up teeth and you're here, your priorities are messed up. Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that, Sil?
Yeah.
And I forget, it was like Driven 2 or 3 or whatever. I was in the bar lobby. It was the third one. And these people walked by with braces on, and they were like freaking looking at me like I was an asshole. And I'm like, what? And it turns out, no, they had braces because they were there that day when I said, if you got fucked up teeth, your priorities are messed up. Like, why would you come to an event that costs a couple $1,000s and your teeth are fucked up? They're like, no one ever told them that. Well, again, dude, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to tell you the truth. When I see somebody, you know, claiming to be successful or wanting to be successful, you have to look at your appearance. You have to understand you're going to be judged. So what do you think of somebody when you see, you know, some dude and he smiles and it looks like he's got a mouthful of Indian corn? Huh? What would you think of the guy? He goes like this and he's got that green shit on his teeth and half of them are gone and they're just kind of rotting out of his face. What would you think?
Well,
This guy's successful or this guy's poor?
poor.
Not only poor, but actually poor, because no money doesn't mean poor, in my opinion. Like, to me, when you have no money, you're broke or you're low.
Yeah.
Poor is when your mindset's fucked up.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, dude, if I look in the mirror and I can see something that needs to be improved, aside from being a little bit overweight, because again, I mean, dude, a lot of times weight is the hardest one because it's so easy not to do it.
Yeah.
Fucking donuts are good. The government, or not the government, but different companies putting shit in foods. It's easy to get fat, but dude, to not brush your teeth and to walk around with bad teeth, bad breath, hair bulging out of your ears, when something can be done about it quickly. Like, dude, I don't get it.
I believe you have to lead by example. So when people hear you telling them what to do, it's different than when people see you doing it. So when people see what you do, they'll do what you do. But if you tell people to do something and you're not doing it, I don't think they'll do it. It won't transfer to them. So what I like to do is lead by example. So I'll brush my teeth in front of people. I'll work out.
You do it hoping they'll brush theirs?
Huh?
Do you do it hoping they'll brush theirs?
Yeah, or I'll walk with gum, and then I'll chew gum, and then I'll get more gum, and then I'll just walk around with the box, and then I'll give Sil some gum, and then people see, oh, they're chewing gum, so then you'll see other people like, oh shit, we'll get some gum too, because you said it before, but it is bad if you're trying to make a sale and you get to a client and your mouth smells really bad. Like, you're not going to get that sale. Like, their attention is not going to be there because they're going to be more aware of your smell. So that's very important. Like, if you look like,
what do you think when someone talks to you and their breath's just nasty? What do you think in your head?
It's disgusting. Like, I want to get out.
Are you listening?
No, I'm not. I can't focus.
So basically there's just time being wasted.
Yeah.
Because of your breath.
Yeah. It's like,
and how hard is it to fix breath?
Very easy, but it all starts also like how you take care of yourself. Like,
so how come somebody has bad breath? Or absent, mindedness, meaning you don't think about it all day long. But that's why that makes the difference between the rookies and the pros.
Yeah, but you know what? Bad breath comes from more than that.
That's all you need right there.
Well,
don't leave home without it.
Well, you also need to eat healthy. You got to work out.
That helps.
You got to.
You can't have bad breath.
Floss.
I'd rather be chunky with good breath than buff and bad breath.
True.
Bad breath's no good, folks. Go get yourself one of these. Walk around with Listerine strips, whatever you got to do. Toothbrush on you. But overall, Albert, you would say appearance is important.
It's very important. So that's why we attract those people, and then everybody in the company. It's part of our culture, like working out, health, and the parties, the elegance, the fancy stuff. So everybody in our company, they have that huge pressure to look good. We've had people in the company that they don't want to join because they feel intimidated, because they're like, I don't fit in.
They're not good looking.
I'm not good looking enough. I'm not hot. I'm not this. And then they're intimidated to join because they think they have to be hot in order to join.
You guys are like the mean girls in the mortgage industry.
And we don't have a rule that you can't join if you're not hot. But because we have so much of that and we attract that, we're just attracting more of those people, and it's working really good. Like it's part of the growth.
Well, that's because, again, how you attract things is you become them. See what I'm saying? So like people always say, how do you get to hang around all these influential people? You become influential.
Yeah. It's like flying private.
Yeah. So if you want to be hot, you got to become hot to hang around and attract all the hot people.
Yeah.
So look in the mirror and see if you're as hot as you want to be. And if you're not, go apply at Ambiance Realty or TMG.
Because now you pay attention to people that are fit, right? Because you're working out. Is that true? Like, I did before
I was working out. Like, I prefer fit.
But do you pay attention more to people that are working out now?
No. I mean, I've always preferred fit people, even when I was fat.
Like for example, like before, I didn't know what a Falcon 2000 was, a G4, a G550, G650.
You didn't?
A Phenom 300. I didn't know what they were. I thought flying private was just flying in a smaller plane, and it was just more convenient. But ever since 2 years ago, I started flying private, and then now I know all that stuff. Like I know how the private plane works. Like I know the different types of planes to go to Vegas, to go to Florida, to go all.
Are you a member of the Mile High Club?
What is that?
Exactly. You still ain't flown private, my friend.
I don't know. I know the planes and I know the cost. I know how they work.
So tell him what the Mile High Club is. You guys don't know the Mile High Club?
No. Tell me, what is it?
Oh, it's the membership Bobby was telling us about.
Yeah, it's a membership. It means that you've boned down up in the sky.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know it was called that.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So you rent private jets and you get busy like Tin Lizzy.
Yeah.
And you become a member of the Mile High Club.
It's kind of harder to do it because we always fly with our entourage.
Tell them to face the cockpit. You tell them to face the cockpit. That's why it's called a cockpit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not doing bad in that department considering I'm having the third child, so we'll have to try for the fourth.
Well, they say when you do it a mile high, it seems everything's better.
I could imagine
because of the pressure or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you'll seem bigger.
You'll explode more.
Everything.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
This is definitely not business.
Are you trying to stay business?
Whatever you want. I just want to give people like what they want to hear. I want to help. I really want to help people, and I think we covered a lot, good things, and
we covered a lot. And by the way, he's got a social media. You can go find him at the Albert Preciado, and at Sil. You changed it, didn't you?
Sil Preciado.
Sil Preciado. I thought. Oh.
No, it's
but they got a podcast, Driven Podcast, the YouTube channel, Go Driven channel. Go to the Driven, what is it, drivenevents.com?
Drivenevent.com. They could just Google my name, Albert Preciado. And then one thing I do want to mention, Brad, is Driven 6. We're having Driven 6. You're going to be part of it.
When is it? October 1?
October 1st. So it's going to be September 30th is a Friday. So we have a mastermind and dinner for the CEO ticket holders. Those tickets are sold out. So there's no more of those tickets. 100 CEO tickets that we had, $10,000 or $15,000 each, I think, but they're sold out. So those are not available. So Friday is for the CEOs. Then Saturday and Sunday, that's the main event. So that's when super VIPs, and executives, I think, can get their tickets at drivenevent.com. You're going to be there. We have Patrick Bet-David. We have Lisa Bilyeu. And
give them a Bomb Squad discount so you can see how many people bought just with a code.
Yeah. So if you guys,
Who does your codes?
Our marketing team. So
just put in Bomb Squad and give them a surprise discount number and see.
Yeah. So we'll put the coupon below. It'll be Brad.
Bomb Squad.
So it'll be Bomb Squad.
Sounds cooler.
Bomb Squad, and I'm going to give you guys a very good discount.
Or we'll upgrade you at no expense just because you came from the podcast. Yeah. So go over there and get your tickets.
Bomb Squad below, you're going to get a huge discount, and I'll throw in a bonus too. So remember this event, it's Driven 6. So we sell half of the tickets at the previous event. So like CEO tickets sold out the previous event, and 50% of all ticket sales, because we keep it at 2,000 people. So like 1,000 tickets are already gone from like day one from last year. So we have limited tickets left. So if you guys want to jump on it before we make major announcements, because every Driven gets better. And last year Driven was pretty good, right? You like the lineup we had?
Sure.
Andy Frisella, Ed Milet, Jesse Itzler, Brad Lee, Tim Grover. Who else?
Quick.
Jim Quick, Les Brown. And I could go on and on. You just go to drivenevent.com and see the lineup. Bobby Castro. Every year gets better. Tom Bilyeu. So every event gets better. Cindy Eckert. Every event gets better. And this event's not going to be an exception. Like, I'm working on huge announcements.
You always wait till the bomb's over, but you don't have to. You can just talk. You can just talk right through it.
Before I make those huge announcements that I'm, because I'm bringing some huge people. We already have enough huge people, but we're bringing more huge people. So if you guys want to get your ticket, don't sleep on it, because it's going to be sold out pretty soon. So Bomb Squad, the coupon below, you're going to get a good deal on it. Throw in the bonus.
Hey, folks, go get your tickets. Go follow Albert. I'll see you around next time. Till next time, what do I say?
Hasta luego.
No, keep it real.
Dropping bombs with the real Bradley. Subscribe now.